So hey, what is up guys? So here are my thoughts so far in Final Fantasy 15. Now, I've been playing Final Fantasy 15 for a while now, and I still believe, I still believe that this could be the best game of 2016. More so now though, because of the fact that there are just other games that just do not rival it right now. But unfortunately, I do not believe story-wise that this game outclasses Final Fantasy 13. Now, besides that conclusion, everything else I believe follows much better. In terms of combat, in terms of exploration, the world, I believe that this game definitely holds that on a higher standard, just because it's an open world and that it just had different environments and different things to look at and different beasts and all these other things to explore throughout the game. But first, let's talk about story. Okay, so story-wise, where this game lacks basically comes from the character developments of characters outside of outside of your main group, which if you should already know if you're from looking at the covers of the game, you have Noctis, Prompto, Ignis, and Gladius, right? And the good thing is I still remember the names, so yeah, those characters are still kind of cool, but outside of those characters, and even within the characters, they're not as strong as the characters we got from Final Fantasy 13. And is it wrong to compare? I don't think so, because still, even without comparing it, I still don't feel as connected or emotionally invested into these characters as much as I felt for any other game that I played, or just in general, or anything that I read or look at when I go into being emotionally invested to any character. And that basically comes down to character development. Now, I feel I still have more to go in the game, and the game is picking up now. In terms of looking at caring about different characters. And what I think they wanted to do with their story is more focus on the present time. Because with Final Fantasy 13, what they did was they did a lot of cutscenes. Some things happened within the game, but also they looked past to talk about what was going on with them in that moment. And also there was things going on within Final Fantasy 13 where you saw the character developments of their own pressures or feeling of what they were and being those individual beings that had those powers and basically being like outcasts of society, which makes people always going to feel like, damn, I want to feel for these characters. They're underdogs, they're outsiders. So you want to feel for those characters anytime you see a character like that. But with Final Fantasy 15, you're not dealing with more so outsiders, because you're dealing with a guy who's basically a prince. And following into the storyline, he's not so much of an outsider to everybody else, and it's kind of weird. I was waiting to see like maybe they do something about he's a rich kid, so people can't relate to him, or people kind of look at him in a higher standard, or more so they put pressure on him or they blame him, but it didn't go that route. So it kind of felt like all right, so he has everybody on his side. He's very powerful. Like, how do I feel for this character? How do I go for this character? And they do some elements here and there, which I'm not gonna lie are really good. And this is why I kind of like the characters that we have, but still it kind of focuses so much on him, and I kind of want to see all these other characters, like the Gladius, Prompto, and Gladius, Prompto, and Ignis. I want to see more about them, make them more interesting. What made them join on this group? What were their motivations? Why are they there? I don't it doesn't resonate to me why they are there. Why they are working so hard with him. I get it that he's royalty. But is this just a job then? And that's what I'm trying to really more understand. And it seems like at certain points, but at rare points, and it's not even in the main story, it's just at these random moments where you're just running around and you see these little cutscenes, but it's 1 to 2 cutscenes with that individual character. So I don't know. I feel like the story has much more to develop on, and I'm hoping that there's more, but I'm thinking that I'm close to the end of the game. I'm hoping I'm not, but I'm thinking I'm close. So far, story-wise for me, it's not as strong. And where I'm at right now to where I was in Final Fantasy 13, there was so much character development. But then again, Final Fantasy 13 had so much character development with individual characters or 2 characters in those chapters. So we will see. But where I'm at right now, at the chapter I'm at right now, compared to the chapter where Final Fantasy 13 was, where they basically finished up all the character development stuff, it's not as strong. Now, moving on, open world exploration. Now, this is where Final Fantasy 13 definitely evolved. To see them go to a place like this where it's open world, free roam, and you have there's basically this big world to go around and do whatever you want. It was pretty good. I like the idea that they added these side quests, but not just any side quests. They also added this hunter rank system, which is really cool because now it's kind of like I'm a beast hunter, and the beasts in this game are beautiful. They're big, they're gigantic, they're different, and it's nice, and it's not like you're just always going after the same thing over and over again. You're getting these different types of variety, and then what they also added with the hunter system is that it's level based and it's rank based, and these levels can be definitely deadly. Throughout the game you start feeling that it's very easy, but I'll get into that later compared to how Final Fantasy 13 was. But you start feeling like it's kind of easy, but when you start doing these hunter ranks and you start running into these dungeons where these levels are very high, you start realizing you got to get your shit up, you got to get your team up and stuff like that. So that I'll give it. Also with side quests, the side quests are not much to be desired, but they are still kind of desirable because you get to see a little bit of why these guys do what they do. They have the fishing, the photography and stuff like that. So those little side things are really nice, especially with the photos. I didn't know I would like that so much with the photography in it, but what it does remind me of looking back at memories, and the game kind of makes you like, oh, okay. This is kind of cool. This is kind of like a road trip type of feature where you get to see what you guys were doing and stuff. And that's what the open world kind of offers, and that's where it kind of offers into the story, I guess. But it makes you develop it on your own, kind of, because you're kind of developing your own story and your own past memories, and you're kind of your own album of things that you guys did while you guys were out there. So it's kind of cool on that. But the exploration wise, you're seeing this beautiful scenery, and at first when you get there, I'm thinking, oh shit, he's gonna be around this one area and that's how the rest of the world's gonna look. But no, it has all these different areas. Sometimes the weather changes, it's raining. So it's pretty cool on different areas, because some areas, each area has obviously their own unique type of beasts and wilderness. You get trees, you get mountains, you get plains, you get desert. So it's pretty cool. I like that, and I thought that was a really great element. And then then you see how the south, kind of the southern accents and different accents from different areas, and how different people live in different factory areas, favela areas, kind of where I kind of went to an area which kind of reminded me of Brazil, or kind of the or more of a urban town and stuff like that. So it was really cool to see those things in the exploration and within the game. Now, combat-wise, I love the combat. Combat has been extremely fun. Only thing I wish they just added just a little bit more, which they call limit attacks, which basically are just combined attacks with your people on the team. But they don't. There's not enough variety in them for me, especially where I'm at in the game right now. Again, I don't know if there's gonna be more chapters. I feel like I'm close to the end of the game, so we'll see. But I wish I had more limit attacks, more combined attacks, because I feel like that's a missed opportunity just to see what else they could have done with different animations, with the different characters coming together to fight whatever they're fighting. Because so far there's only seems to be one, and then except for Prompto, he gets an extra photography one. But combat besides that is really fun, especially with the magic incorporated. I'm not upset with the way they went with magic this time. I don't know if other people will be, but I'm not. I really like what they went in, the direction they went with the magic. I wish they would have just explained a little bit more, because it came to my attention later that you can make your magic much stronger. Not with they did explain how to make it do different effects and different abilities and be stronger in certain areas, but in terms of making it you have Blizzard, then you have Blizzara, and then Blizzaga and stuff like that. They didn't explain that exactly, and also they haven't explained summons, which is kind of frustrating. But whatever. That combat is still fun. I don't even honestly want to use summons sometimes, but it's just nice because the summons from the one that I use looks pretty cool. So yeah. Besides that, the only last thing to touch on, I think, is just besides that, I guess the only thing I would say more is just the little things. I mean, the little things they have in the game, like again with the exploration, but more so individual characters like Noctis fishing, Prompto photography, Ignis cooking, and Gladius exploration. Like those are like those things that I kind of appreciate in the game, because it also matters to you, like, you know, leveling up. It gives you experience for doing these little things. And also it's pretty cool. Like I like getting Ignis food to make, and then I love getting the fish with Noctis. Like those are like those little mini games that I kind of like. And those little things that are added in the game that kind of keep it more interesting. But besides that, so far, like I like the game, and I like it a lot, but story-wise, it's just not hitting me as strong as Final Fantasy 13 did. And that's kind of disappointing, but I'm hoping that it picks up later on. Maybe there's something else that can go on, but like I said, from the chapters and the development from where Final Fantasy 13 was taking off, you felt more invested, and you had to. It kind of forced you into it. And I mean, a little bit, sometimes it could get boring, but you know, it really invested you into the characters. Now, the only thing I'll say is better than Final Fantasy 13 is the grinding. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. Leveling up and grinding in this game is not as bad as Final Fantasy 13. I will say that immediately. You will level up. It's not. I don't want to say it's easy. I think they did a good mix. I mean, unless you're just gonna go through the main story, then yeah. Main story wise, I think it's pretty easy. But when you're doing the side quests and going into dungeons, it's not as easy anymore, and you do have to focus on what you're doing and how you're using your potions and stuff like that, along with your teammates, and also having attack boost before you go in there, and you know, having your team prepared. But it's not as grindy as Final Fantasy 13, because Final Fantasy 13 felt very grindy at certain points. So this game is definitely not as grindy as Final Fantasy 13, and also doesn't feel as drawn out. Like I don't feel like I'm yawning and I'm getting bored, or I want to stop playing, or I want to rush through certain sequences. It's a pretty good balance in terms of that, because again, it's not as grindy, because grinding isn't bad until it becomes very slow and very, like, it takes you out of the experience. So this game, I'll say, is definitely not as grindy. But besides that, guys, thank you guys for watching. But this is just my thoughts and opinions about the game so far. I still got some ways to go. But yeah, guys, check out more of my playthroughs on the channel. I know that the mic is not at its best right now. After, I think, episode 18, I think I finally get the mic volume to a perfect spot to where it is right now as you're listening. But it was just a problem with my own mic, and, you know, setting up the settings and stuff. But guys, thank you guys for watching. And yeah, check out my playthrough, guys. You know, I was going through a lot of different things. And also remember, I have the Ultimate Collector's Edition. So I didn't, unfortunately, get to unlock it, because you have to click on the thing exactly. It was a weird process. But I didn't exactly get to unlock it till a certain point. I think it was around episode 18. So just wait until then. You'll start seeing, like, the Ultimate Collector's Edition, like the regalia and stuff. I don't know how to unlock other things. Maybe I'll just have it shown on my stream when I do another playthrough. But yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching. Check me out on my other playthroughs of, like, Mad Max and Fallout and stuff like that, and LA Noire. But guys, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for coming through to the channel. And just remember, you can also check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/NoxOG. You can get all this in my description. Yeah, thank you guys. All right, peace.